We will now look at the threads header file for standard C. And as we will see, it is very similar to pthreads. The thread type is this. There is a once flag as in for the once type in pthreads, and the mutex condition variable, and then something called thread specific storage. In my view, this does not look very useful. Instead, thread local is in my view more useful, and what it does is to create a variable with static storage duration, that means static or global variable, but each thread has its own such variable. Okay, so to create a thread specific global variable, we should use thread local and then the rest of the declaration. If we include this header file, we can instead write thread local like that. So the initialization, similar to pthread once, is this, okay, and it behaves in the same way. And constants, symbolic constants, to explain what, when, not when, but why a certain error message or success is returned. It's this. And as we can see, it's much less than what the pthreads can return, and it's really important to get detailed feedback from the system as to why something didn't work. And therefore I think that using pthreads is a better option than using standard threads in C. And the reason, of course, is that the C is a compromise with non-Unix operating systems. Okay, so there are different ways to initialize the mutex, and we need to say which version which kind we want. And we can specify waiting time with this struct. Okay, and the condition variables, they are as expected. The mutex functions, here is the interesting thing related to this. When we initialize the mutex, we should say which kind it is, and it should be one of these. And as we can see, we can OR in different such constants to get both types. Okay, when we do a try lock and don't get the lock, we will get thread busy as the return value. Okay, and finally the thread functions are similar to the equivalent pthreads functions.